Hello, it's Chaz. It's the West Ham Minds channel. Welcome, regular subscribers. Welcome, new subscribers. Bit of a moan. Those of you who know my channel, deep down, I love a good moan. But it's been a while, and it's just, listen, I don't plan it. Things happen, and I think things need to be said. First of all, before I get into it, transfer window, what we got a week left. Kalvin Phillips, I think he's having a medical today. A few more discussions. When will that officially be announced? It could be later on today, could be tomorrow. But what we do know is more or less it's definitely going to be done. The finer details of it, in terms of if there's a clause in there to buy him permanently, what is it? What wages is he on? Are we going to pay all of it? Are we not going to pay it? That we don't know at the moment. And I think he's more or less going to be available for the next Premiership game, which is Bournemouth, alongside Kudos, which is kind of really good news. Apart from that, on the injuries front, I think Paqueta's kind of doing some exercises, I've been told. Alvarez, we don't know too much about. So that's kind of where we are with that. I don't want to go into any other player sort of who we link with. It's nothing concrete at the moment. When it does, you know which sources I follow, then I will jump on a show. But at the moment, it's just 2-3 players, and then people and channels just someone farts in the corner about a player, and people do a show on it, right? I wait until there's reasonable substance, that there's 2-3 platforms, news media outlets, and people we know who are talking about it, and then I'll talk to you about it. As you know where I'm coming from, really. But listen, what the show's about is so much negativity around Kalvin Phillips signing, and I don't fucking understand it, right? People got short memories. We've got to remember that signing players like Kalvin Phillips, who's an England squad regular, right? 5-10 years ago, we wouldn't have thought about that. I remember being a West Ham fan for fucking decades when no one would get in and anywhere near the England team. We were often relegated every 6-7 years, right? And it is embarrassing when you look at the development of Chelsea and Tottenham. We have been left behind, really catching up a little bit now, but it's still always going to be difficult, especially Tottenham's new stadium, and Arsenal are a huge traditional club anyway, one of the country's biggest established clubs alongside Liverpool, Man United, whether you like that statement or not. It's a fact. Chelsea's the one that hurts. Growing up at school, Chelsea were nothing. They didn't even own their own training ground. That even in Stamford Bridge was shit. You had that big ground and then big stadium on one side and nothing around. And you had these vans and ambulances parked behind it. It's a shithole. Then suddenly, I don't know how, they just seem to buy more good players, more world-class players. We were buying Peter Butlers of the world. They're buying Ruud Hullits and stuff like that, and Zolas. And it's a fact, right? And we've got to really appreciate a lot of the things we got at this club. This team is really, really good. 5-6 players in there that any top team in the Premiership would like. And you know the players, the Bowens, the Kudoses, the Paquetas, that kind of thing, Players that clubs that their fans would deep down would love to have them, right? And then you got decent players like kind of Ward-Prowse, you got Alvarez in there, right? And now Kalvin Phillips, right? So I think there's some respect there. I think it's the David Moyes brigade, including I'm part of it as well, some sort of most of the time. But sometimes I learn to just chill a bit and just give space. You can't be negative all the time about everything. It just fucking drive you balmy, right? And you see those people suffering on Twitter, and then they come off because people are getting personal. Just chill out, mate. It's football. We've got bigger life out there. We've got children. We've got holidays. Football channels, that's fine. But I think this time to just blend it a little bit. If you just, and in this particular, it's like, oh no, we don't want him. He's negative. He's fucking defensive. He's fucking injury prone. He's this, he's that. Fucking hell. Where's he going to play? He'll never drop Souček, Moyes. Let the guy come in, right? It's a loan signing. We've got we're in February soon. February, March, April. We've got about 3.5 months. We've got about 14 weeks this lad's going to play for us on loan, right? We don't have to go into the financial side of it that much. We're not going to pay for it, right? The club are looking after that side of it. We just need to enjoy the player, right? He's an England squad regular, ex-captain of Leeds. Look at the reference that Guardiola's given him. Apologising, saying what a great character this kid's got, how professional he is, and I feel so bad I've not been able to give him more game time than he deserved. And he has stayed professional, focused, one of the most popular players in and around the squad. And no matter what you say about David Moyes, most of the players he brings in are really good characters, good dressing room, good camaraderie, good character. This is what this team under David Moyes has got. And you remember me mentioning that, how we can understand how no matter what sort of dour tactics Moyes does, the players follow. They're scared of him. They respect him. Every manager who's a manager out there, including Alan Pardew's comments on him and all that thing, there's not one professional player or manager doesn't respect David Moyes. I think Rio Ferdinand and that Sport United team under Fergie were mouthing him off like they mouthed every fucking manager off since Fergie anyway. That's a very, very unique case. But apart from that, whether you like his tactics or not, he's very well known and respected throughout the game and things like that. And it's just things like that, right? Professional. He's a leader. We need leaders. We saw how he got beaten up at Bristol City on and off the pitch. If this boy was there, it would have been a lot different, right? England regular. Southgate's got respect for him. 28-29. It's a loan deal. And then another thing that's pissing me off is, oh yeah, I bet it's a deal to get Paqueta over there, isn't it? It's a swap deal, isn't it? It's a kind of a Paqueta sweetener, isn't it? I mean, come on. We'll think about that when the season ends. Just fucking leave it for now. Let the guy come in and play. Let's enjoy him. You know, I'll let you know later in the show where I think he'll fit in, and just leave it at that, right? He's not going to score 50-yard goals. He's not going to take it past 3. He is a clever, reliable, strong CDM. Says what's on the tin like Alvarez, and we need 2 of them. I don't regard Ward-Prowse as that. I don't regard Souček as that. You see what I mean? I don't regard Fornals as that. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of the people are going to be leaving and coming in, and he'll be an improvement. He'll hit the ground running. He's an England squad member. He's English. It's nice. Rice goes and we get Alvarez and Kalvin Phillips in the middle of the field. That's superb by the club. That's brilliant, right? So, don't worry about Paqueta going. Don't worry about if it's a sweetener and la 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 la. Just... right, and let the window fucking close, and we'll see if we get that left winger or not, or if we're going to get a striker or not, or whether Antonio's going to be back, and then Moyes will say, listen, I've got Danny Ings back in form, I've got Mubama, I'm using him more and more, I've got Bowen up there, I've got Kudus, Paqueta, I've got more. So rather than panic buy and stick 20, 30, 40 million on someone you're not sure about, and where players are not available, so most of your players you want are not available until the summer. Listen, we've got a couple of players. I think there's that striker at Senegal, is it Die? 17, 18 million strong, can keep it up. If that materialises, that money, that could happen. But it's going to be more of a case of maybe another loan signing. Try to look at cheap defensive covers if we can. And then in the summer, whether Moyes signs that extension or someone else comes in as manager, they'll have a nice little lump sum to work with. And then it'll be just a case of maybe, sorting the squad out here and there instead of a complete overhaul, really. Paqueta goes, let him go. We get 80 million. Let's recycle the cash again. Let's go. It's football. There's no need to fucking worry about ifs and buts, right? But that's kind of thing what I wanted to say, really. So chill out there, people. Let him sign. Respect him. Back him. He's a very, very good player. There are lots of clubs after him, and whether you love it or you laugh it, I think Moyes has been mentioned as one of the people why he's coming in. He's got this soft spot for him anyway. But anyway, I better move on before I get more pouters. Anyway, so this is where I think he'll fit in again. I don't want to bore you with the same information, but this is where I think what will happen when more or less everyone is fit and he comes in. Areola in goal. Mavropanos and Zuma will be the centre-backs. And apart from set pieces and corners, they won't be going forward as much. This is the interesting bit. I see Alvarez as a sweeper and sometimes going deep enough to be one of the 3 centre-backs as and when needed. And then you'll have Ward-Prowse and Phillips as the new CDM partnership, ladies and gentlemen. And because you've got Alvarez there as a sweeper and 2 really good CDMs, that will allow Emerson and Kufal to be like wing backs, you know, and I've been noticing that more and more that, yeah, they are attacking a bit more. They are hugging that byline a bit more. They are trying to cross it in a bit more and go over that halfway line, which notoriously David Moyes' sides didn't do. And that's what I see. So I see a lot of defensive cover in there to kind of encourage David Moyes to be, dare I say, a little bit more brave and allow Kufal and Emerson to be those wingers slash wing backs slash full backs, because they got Alvarez there as cover to help with Zuma and Mavropanos. And then you got another CDMs with Phillips and Ward-Prowse, really. Phillips, 28. Yeah, Kalvin Phillips is about 28. Ward-Prowse is about 29, 30. But Phillips definitely got more legs in him than Ward-Prowse. And he's a tough CDM cookie, trust me. You wouldn't want to mess about with Alvarez and Phillips in that middle, I think, in a physical battle. And then up front, ladies and gentlemen, I think Antonio, because of his poor form, he's going to have to fight his way back into the team. So I think when he's fit, he ain't going to slot in. He was very, very poor. And I think Moyes has been really happy and surprised by the way Paqueta, Bowen and Kudos have been sharing that responsibility to be up front, interchanging with each other, to the effect that even us as, you know, hard fans of West Ham, we don't know who's up front. Sometimes it's Bowen, then 2 minutes later Kudos runs in. So very hard for the defence of the opposition to pick anyone up. And don't worry about Paqueta, where it seems like he plays on the left wing. I don't think he really does. I think he cuts in a lot. He's got the licence to float all around the pitch and be a number 10. So I think for now, this could be kind of... this could be the team where everyone sort of comes back from their injuries. And yeah, just let me know in the comments what you think. Obviously, worries about Mavropanos, haven't we? Long term worries about Zuma's knee. Let's see how Agard comes back, what kind of head he brings back from the AFCON. And let's see if we do bring a striker in or not. Then we can tweet it again. Really, yeah. It's all about tweaking it around, having people on the bench like Souček and things like Antonio that look even better. Johnson's looking good. Danny Ings is picking up. Cornet's looking good. So until Paqueta's back, maybe they'll try Cornet even more. I love him to get more game time. You know, I've got such a soft spot for Cornet. So yeah, this is what I think will happen. Let me know in the comments what you think. And also let me know in the comments if I'm, back to Kalvin Phillips thing. I think we just let the window close. I think the people at the club who, they know what they need. They're trying to make things happen. It is difficult. And Kalvin Phillips is a very, very one of the biggest signings in the window for any club. And let's see if we can get another through the door. And if we don't get that big iconic striker signing, then don't worry. I think we'll go again in the summer. We're 6th in the league. I know we've dropped a few naughty points recently, but when we get most of the team back, Kudos is back. So apart from Paqueta, Alvarez, I think we're nearly there, and Phillips will cover for Alvarez for now. I think it's a half decent team. We can go for that Europa once the draw is made in February. Keep picking up points and maybe finish 7th, get Europe again. Who knows? But I think what's really given me heart and confidence is how the form of Ben Johnson's picked up suddenly. The form of Danny Ings has suddenly picked. How suddenly at last we're seeing Cornet, my favourite. That is what was letting everyone down. Even Mobama's getting more and more minutes. That's what Moyes has to do more and more. He's got to give him more game time. He's got to interchange it. He's got to do the subs more on the 60th minutes, you know. And that'll help all the 11, keep the 11 fresh. If you don't touch the subs bench, you don't touch the youngsters, everyone's out of form, then suddenly you are going to get these injuries. And then when you chuck them in, they don't look good. Then you got people like Jazz having a go at them. You know, Mr. Moisey, they think he's going to be offered a contract. His brother was saying they think he's going to be offered a contract at the end of the window for perhaps a year and a half, I don't know, and he's going to sign it. If that happens, then we'll tackle a show on that afterwards. But like I said, it's a rumour, and I don't want to go either way on that until that happens, really. So listen, you guys have a great Wednesday, what's kind of left of it. And again, as soon as Kalvin Phillips is official, we'll jump on another show again and we'll discuss all any other rumours that, according to me, are valid, are worth talking about, and then we'll go from there, really. Subscribe if you haven't. We want to get the 3,000 subs mark as soon as we can, anyone. So God bless. Come on, you Irons. Be positive. You naughty, naughty people. Come on, you Irons.